Welcome to episode 296 of the Center Ring Esports podcast presented by Alt. This is going to be the best episode ever because it is the last episode ever for the year 2020. That's right. After today, we have the Timmies, and then we're on a little holiday break. But that doesn't mean this show won't be the best ever because we have a packed e-news to get to, as well as everyone's favorite segment, Clutch or Kick, and we have a handful of things to get to there as well. But before we do any of that, let me tell you about the show's sponsor in Alt Esports. Check them out, altesports.com. If you sign up for their mailing, you would have gotten notifications that they are doing the Alt Days of Christmas, and every single day they are running a different sale. I believe yesterday, Anuj, you could have gotten 2 free pair of Alt socks. Which
That's like my favorite part. That's my favorite thing I've gotten from them has been socks.
Like, they really are the best. And I tell Nate this every time. I'm like, the Alt socks are by far the comfiest pair of socks I own. I have 2 of them.
For sure.
So you could have known that. Go to altesports.com, sign up for the email, get the notifications for the Alt Days of Christmas. You can also pick yourself up a 101 Burglars hoodie while supplies last. Won't probably get that before Christmas, but you know what? It's such an amazing hoodie, no one will care. They'll take a 101 Burglars hoodie any day of the week. Doesn't have to be Christmas. Just go and get that. Also, the 90s limited edition black hoodie is available as of this very moment as me saying it. Sentinels drop. They got a new drop coming out very soon, so check that out, altesports.com.
My name is Justin. I got your Pistola D's, and you are listening to The Center Ring.
Okay, so let's start.
Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome. Welcome back to another edition of The Center Ring, aka TCR, aka your favorite esports podcast. Episode 296, coming to you live and or pre-recorded from an undisclosed location. The date, December 16th, 2020. The time, 9:28 p.m. Almost, you know what? We won't say we're an hour late, Anuj. We're going to say we are super early for the next episode. That's how we're going to twist that one.
Like 120 some odd hours.
Yeah.
But we're early.
But we are early, so they can't take that away from us. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter at The Center Ring. Join our Discord. The link is in the description there, as well as our website, tcr.gg. My name is Tim. I will be your captain for this journey into esports, but alongside me, as always, is my best friend, my brown friend. It's Anuj. What's up?
Sad, dude. Last real show of the year. That's
real show.
That's
yes.
big. Real show. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, it's always sad. And I always feel like it's like, oh man, this is a big thing. No, we just go on like, it's just the holidays where we have Christmas and then the next week is New Year's. And so we've tried doing episodes then, and it just doesn't work out because families get involved and like
Esports shut down.
Esports, yeah. So there's nothing to talk about regardless. Nothing. Like, there's just not. Let's be real. You have a few invitationals here and there and some like other events tailing off, but nothing huge. Nothing big is happening right now. CS is in a player's break. No team is doing massive signings or anything right before the holidays or the new year anyways. So it's just not a whole lot going on. You're like celebrating like 500 Indian holidays plus the one white person holiday thrown in there. So
I get them all.
That's
the best part. I get to celebrate them all.
Yeah, it's just a lot going on this time of year. So we just decide, hey, let's just take like 2 weeks off, recharge the fuel cells, and then hit the ground running in 2021. Even better. So to lay out the table then, so everyone can mark their calendars. Today is the last official show of the year. However, either Sunday or Monday night, we will know as soon as said family gets back to Anuj to let him know what his plans are, because that's how adulthood works. You don't make your own schedule. Everyone else in your life tells you where to be.
Exactly.
You want to know the secret to being married? There you go. It's either Monday or Sunday or Monday will be the Timmies. And then we will be back probably like January 3rd, that first Sunday after, maybe the 6th. We'll figure that out. So, but it's going to be
somewhere in that week for sure.
Somewhere in that week, either the 3rd or the 6th will be our official show back, and maybe do Smash documentary. I don't know if the full thing will be out by then, available for the masses, but we'll see. We'll let you know. Be in our Discord, and follow us on Twitter. That will be the easiest way to know if you need to watch that documentary. So, other than that, the Timmies, I think, are going to be live, correct? I know we said we wanted to pre-record, but we also did none of the prep work we said we were going to do to pre-record.
Look, if we're going live with it, people need to understand it'd be a different level of production quality. Naturally, right? We don't get like retakes, redos, so
or maybe the same, because my video editing skills is not that great.
That's also true.
You like a fade-in transition? I can do that.
But, see, that's the only thing we're really going to be missing.
Right.
It's like the fade-ins and fade-outs. That's about it.
Much like last year, if you watched the first ever Timmy's, which is our esports award show, for those who might not know, off the top head, it's all improv pretty much. So you do get that. It is funny. So, but that will be either Sunday or Monday. So be sure to join us for that as we go over our Rookie of the Year, Org of the Year, Org Mismanagement of the Year. You'll get our Yikes of the Year, Good Dude of the Year, some others that I'm sure I'm missing. Best,
and it's not too late to vote. If we've been posting them on Twitter. If you follow us on Twitter at the Center Ring, you'll see Tim's been putting out the nominations here. And hey, it's not even too late for a write-in vote. Like, even though that's like stamped in, we're more than willing to add another one if you can make a good case for somebody.
So because we're doing it live, like, that's kind of the thing. Like, even as we're going over the nominees, you could, if you got a good one, put it in the chat. And like, that's how we roll. There is no deadline. Until we announce the winner, there is no deadline. We make the rules when it comes to our esports award show. It's not a corporate shill out for a retweet, as they have a rookie mobile player of the year, which you look at me in the eyes and tell me that's a legit esports award. You look at me in the eyes and do not blink, esports awards, when you tell me the mobile esports rookie of the year is a real award.
What about sponsor of the year, Tim?
Oh, well, that's a very important one, because how else are they going to pay for their own corporate shill-out show if they don't have sponsors of the year? I mean, hardware of the year, all that. How would they pay for their own made-up award show if they don't do a sponsor of the year award? But I digress. I would love to get an esports award, but let's be real. They don't even feed us when we're there. Why would I want an award? Oh, man. All right, so that's it. That's kind of what we have going on at the moment. So what are your plans then for the downtime?
Oh, is that what we call it? We call it downtime.
Well,
now?
It's downtime from the show, but
the show is downtime, Tim.
Yes, that is very. Without the show, look, we say we're taking a 2-week break, and both of our wives' ears perk up a little bit and say, "Oh, well then you can watch."
You told your wife.
You can watch the kid every Sunday and Wednesday then? Great.
You told your wife you're going on a break? That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was probably a mistake.
Yeah. No, I did too. Really not a whole lot. This whole, what's going on right now? Oh yeah, the pandemic. It's like still pretty real.
Still happening.
one of our really good friends just tested positive yesterday.
Oh, did he really?
He did. He tested positive yesterday, and so
Wah,
I
wah.
mean, and look,
You know what? That's what he gets for playing a paladin.
He had like 3 weeks off. He had to go into the office for 2 days and got COVID being in there for 2 days, you know? So we aren't really doing much. We're going to hang out with the family. We're celebrating Christmas on the 24th because my wife is working um, a 24th at the hospital on the 25th. So she will be gone all day Christmas, unfortunately. But celebrating with her parents on the 24th, my parents on the 26th. Outside of that, I hope to get to play a lot of WoW. Still going hard over there. Maybe get back into Valorant a little bit. I'm going to do some gaming. Like, I just want to sit around, watch some sports, do some gaming, hang out with my family. Not in that order necessarily, but yeah, just looking forward to farting around and having a little time to myself. Work has been like busy the last because we've been working from home. You would think, oh man, you can like sit back and enjoy it more. You almost feel a different type of pressure working from home. Almost
Well, you're
you
just
feel
getting
like you
pulled
want
in
to.
5 different directions. Right.
Yeah, and you don't want to be that guy, right? That
Yeah.
they look at and they're like, "Oh, this guy's not doing shit when he's working from home."
Yeah.
And so,
It's my work has been brutal. My full-time job has been for the last few months has just been absolutely brutal. Normally I could have a chance to breathe. I can't even look away from my computer without getting buried in more work. So it's been brutal. Looking forward to some holiday chillaxing. Of course, I have new baby is like a month away, so it's crunch time. It is. I have very now I have to get the rooms put together.
we'll be going on a hiatus right when we get back from hiatus.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much we'll have a little short break there when the new kid's here. But I plan on playing a lot of WoW. I'm actually surprised on how much I've been into this expansion. Like I've been focused. I'm a little behind, but that's okay. I'm correction. I'm behind our couple of friends that for somehow can play like 48 hours in a day.
They really
Like
can make that happen, can't they?
I don't know how they do it, but every time I look, they're on. I'm like,
Yeah. Well, Kamar's in quarantine now that he
yeah.
tested positive from his wife and child, so he's sitting in a room for 14 days, just walking across the hall to shit and going back into the room to eat, and that's pretty much his life. So
Mm.
he's gonna naturally get ahead, and then I won't mention our other friend's name for the sake of his job, um, but he manages to find a lot of time during the week to play.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So look, I'm looking forward to it. It's always nice too because I can have time to kind of work on the show a little bit, get some things done behind the scenes, and I'm looking as much as I love doing the show, as much as I love, the listeners. It's also nice just to not worry about doing it, and I can do things behind the scenes. So,
are you enjoying the expansion?
I am. Apart from Torghast, I think is the literal worst I've ever had in WoW. Which is weird because going into it, I thought I was going to love it because it's kind of like that Diablo vibe of just do the same thing over and over and just see how far you can get. But it's the biggest chore of my life.
Yeah, it really has. Like the whole, basically 1 hour if you're, depending on the class that you're playing, but
Right.
roughly an hour to get through it. And if you don't complete it, you get nothing, which
Nothing.
is like absolutely brutal in itself. And so I am liking the expansion. I absolutely despise Torghast. Like
And it
I
might
would want
be
to run if
because
I had to run it once a week, Tim, I'd like it.
yeah.
Honestly. I think if I had to just run it one time a week, sure, it wouldn't be too bad, but like 3, 4 times, dude, we don't have that kind of time to play, let alone
No.
put in 4 hours into
I felt like
Torghast in
it
1
should have
week.
been something fun. It should be where the buffs are goofy and just make you so overpowered where you can go in there, kick ass, get your soul ash for your legendaries, and get out. I shouldn't have to stress out like it's like a mythic plus. But
And maybe once our gear is up, like
yeah, and maybe that's what Blizzard is laughing at us, thinking like, you guys just don't worry about it, right? You're gonna get your gear, and then you're gonna roll through it. But right now, as DPS players, it's rough. It's rough,
yeah.
like to the point where I don't even do it half the time.
Over the break, Tim and I may be leveling another character together just to.
I've really consider it. I will do a plate user with you, so you and I can run those plate mythic runs and just get geared out really quick.
Let's do a druid, and you pick somebody to comp with the druid.
I'm fine with that. Just a monk.
I think I want to level my druid.
If you want to level your druid, I will level someone with you, and we'll comp it. Maybe you can heal, I can tank, vice versa, and we can just roll.
Blow through shit.
It'll be great. It'll be a relief from our DPS hell that Blizzard puts us in. Seems like every time. But no, so there it is. I will say this too, just real quick before we get into Clutch or Kick, for our listeners for 2020. Love you. I know it's been a crazy year for everyone, to say the least. Esports has this narrative of, oh, esports has survived Corona. It survived the pandemic. Look at all these traditional sports suckers, and it hasn't been easy for everyone. Like, I don't like it when people try to paint the picture that esports has just came out on top. The top of esports have come out on top, sure, but there's been a lot more behind the scenes that have struggled. So I appreciate, if we've been able to entertain you guys, in the slightest, to distract you from pandemic, Corona, whatever, right? I mean, hell, there's been a lot more going on than just that. That's what we do this for. So, and the huge paycheck.
We are like a commuter show, right? In the sense, a lot of people probably listen to us while they're on the road, or they're working in the office and want something to entertain them for a little bit. And I hope we give some entertainment during those times. But for all the people that are still listening, even, again, during the pandemic, when there is a lot more you're in your own home, you don't have to take that time away to listen to us. And for those of you that have hung in there and enjoyed the show, and, still feel like we're giving you content that's enjoyable, like, we do it because we enjoy it, and we enjoy having y'all as what we consider friends, not just listeners. Like, we've gotten to know so many of you over the past couple of years. That's really been special for us. We've not only gotten to play games with you guys, but just shoot the shit, whether that's through Discord. So many listeners help out behind the scenes with little things here and there, and are always asking to volunteer, and you know even little corrections that they catch for us. I love all that stuff. I love the interaction. Hopefully 2021 is just as fun for everyone. But seriously, guys, thank y'all so much from the bottom of our hearts, because it does mean a lot to know that people still care to listen after all these years. Like, we've been doing this for quite a long time, and we're getting close to episode 300. Something really special is on the way, Tim said. So we're really looking forward to what he has planned for us. But yeah, really. I mean, it's been a hell of a ride, and this year's been insane, but it's been a lot of fun, and got to spend a lot of time with listeners with the whole work from home thing. So I've really enjoyed that. And again, just thank you guys very much.
And quick shout outs to some listeners here. So coming up next year, we're going to have more content on YouTube. Cole T will be helping out with that. So I appreciate it for him reaching out to offer his assistance in the video editing department. And also, I forgot to mention with the Timmies this year, we are actually going to have a physical Timmy. So completely original, not inspired by any other award show. So when you see that, I'll tweet it out before the show as a teaser. But Canada, our listener, and good dude overall, has volunteered his 3D printer services for that. So
he did a fantastic job.
It looks awesome. I can't believe it. I'm going to have it on my shelf when I get it. So, and we're going to see. He was funny, though, because he was like, so, yeah, man, just let me know, and I'll print these out. And I'm like, well, let's pump the brakes, because I don't know if, like, Orgmist, like, a lot of our Timmies are making fun of things. I don't know.
We need to be selective where we send those.
Maybe
like an Org of the year, a Rookie of the year, Team of the year. Maybe we do, like, a couple of those. Like a Yikes of the Year finalist. Like, I don't think Banks is going to want to get a Timmy from us,
right? Yeah, no, I don't think Banks would want anything to do with us. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into some Clutch or Kick. Real thing here. Let me get down here. First, Clutch or Kick from Overwatch. I don't talk a lot of Overwatch anymore, but it's an off season, I guess. We'll wait. Can I say Clutch or Kick? This is a clutch. Their winter skins almost make me want to download the game again.
Their skins always look cool.
Almost. Because they really do. They really do look cool. All right, so
Well,
Houston
I want
Outlaws.
to follow up on that real quick.
Okay.
Did you see the new Valorant skins for their winner thing, like their
Yes, I
Christmas
actually
skins?
I meant to get. I want to buy the Vandal.
It looks pretty cool,
Yeah,
doesn't it? Like
I
how
was
it
gonna get the
changes
candy
and
cane, but then I saw them use it, and I was like, eh. But I do
it
like
is
the
cool
gun.
that the candy cane can break and becomes like a sharp
Oh, does
pointed
it?
one. Yeah, so it has you have to hit it a lot of times. I don't know how many
Oh,
times you're ever gonna do that in a round, but looks kind of cool. But I do like the weapon skins.
yeah.
I
I
love all
wish
this
the
Christmas
weapon
stuff too.
skins had like a finisher though. Like the
Yeah,
finishers are
like
kind of
you go
cool.
into a snow globe or something
Yeah,
like that.
something. Felt like okay, the gun's cool, but you left it there. You didn't finish the job. I want these skins are not cheap. I want a finisher. Like
Yeah,
that's
but it does like change the way it looks and
yeah.
all
Like if
that.
you're in
So
the
at least there's like
shadows or something like that,
yeah, yeah.
it looks cool. I think I'm going to pick it up. Think I'm going to pick it up. All right, back to Clutch or Kick here. Houston Outlaws announced the signing of their sixth player in the rebuild process. Juby is how I'm going to say his name, but I've never really followed him to be honest with you. You know why, Anuj? Because he's the first ever collegiate pro to join the Overwatch League, as he played for Harrisburg University. So Clutch or Kick. Is this a win for the Overwatch League? They haven't had a lot. I can't tell you the last win that they've had, but is this finally a win for the Overwatch League?
I think it's a win for gamers, right? Like you want to see that ability to, like, you're not going to college necessarily play video games only, right? That may be part of it now for some people with all the esports scholarships and things that are involved, but y we wanted to see some people kind of make that jump, and so I think it's just a win in general, right? For Overwatch League, sure, like it's good that they're scouting out young talent. I think he's like 17, um, so they are, finding ways to pull that talent. Um, I think it's just a win for gamers though. Like it's cool to know that if you choose to go that route, that chance is there. It might not be like that in every single esport, but all it takes is one to make that jump. And now you should really be rooting for his success in the league, right? Like that would be ideal as if he can come in and actually be a difference maker. And he led his team to the finals of the varsity series. I don't think he's actually going to be playing in them. Um, but he did lead them there, so that's pretty badass. And so yeah, I'm rooting for his success. I'm glad over or Outlaws took a chance on him, and I think it's just more of a clutch in terms. It's just a win for gamers everywhere to see something like that happen.
Yeah, I think it's a huge win for like you said with college esports in general, right? We know a lot of people on the college esports side, and a lot of our listeners in Discord are involved with their college esports scene. When I was in college, that was not a thing. We had a Smash gaming club that got together at the student union, and I think at the time there was like 6 of us. Like it was to the point where I like was going to go, peeked my head in, saw that there was like 5 people, and I'm like, oh,
And they all already know each other.
they already all know each other, and I'm like, yeah, wrong room, guys. I gotta go. Sorry. So very cool. I think it's a good thing in general. I don't see how anyone could shit on this. Now that being said, I'm sure someone is. I'm sure someone, not to name names, on Twitter found a way to turn this into a negative, especially because it's involving the Overwatch League. But I think
That's the only reason people are going to talk shit about it is because
right.
it's the Overwatch League.
Yeah,
But
but no, I think it's
otherwise,
a
it's a really
very
cool story.
a very cool story indeed. Next on Clutch or Kick, so we both clutched it, both a good thing here. Next on Clutch or Kick, Ents CS:GO. I don't know if they have any other teams, but Ents has their own issues, Anuj, and I'll let you dive more into details with this one.
Yeah, so recently with Alu, he was on the HLTV Confirmed podcast. During the show, they obviously talked about the turmoil of the team over the past year. Like 2020 was a rough year outside of COVID for that roster and the departing of Alexi B, which basically gutted the team, and it's been downhill since then. Well, Serge came up, and Serge recently left the team. He decided to go fulfill his military duty, and so he came up in the conversation with Alu, and Alu had mentioned, he saying he was kind of on his way out already. He had been benched for a short period of time. They brought him back onto the starting roster. It wasn't really going the way that they had anticipated. So yeah, he left to go fulfill his military duty, but maybe he didn't like this is not word for word, but maybe he didn't have it anyway. Like he didn't
Right.
have this roster spot. Well, during the interview, Serge tweeted out before the interview was over, "I wouldn't take everything what Alu says for granted. He isn't as simple and harmless persona as it may look. There's a reason he's the only one left on the team from the original roster." He followed up with that tweet again live while it's going on. "I'm not going to open up more about this situation because it's a mental health thing, and that is not for me or for Twitter to handle. All teammates can back up my tweet, though. Just wanted to let this out because no one else did." Last thing to add to it, they did ask Alu about those tweets during the interview. He said, "I can always say, obviously, I've made mistakes, not always been the best teammate, but what else can I say?" That's really all he had to add to it. And so, clutch or kick, Tim, for really the future of Ents in CS:GO. Like, are they? Do you see them having a rebound in 2021, or is this essentially kind of the beginning of the end with only one player remaining from the current iteration of the roster?
I mean, I never say never, right? Like, especially on the EU side of CS. And ENCE has kind of done this rubber banding back and forth. That's kind of been them, right? They've when they first came out on top, they were hot. Then they kind of went away, and then this is then you had the resurgence of them being the fan favorite with, Bot Alu, God Alu, the Ents song that you now can see it and hear it in the game. Like, they made it into a music track. That's where you kind of saw them rebound. And now I guess they're back in the shitter. So never say never, but I am going to say I don't know, because it's also happened at the perfect time, right?
Let's go for 2021.
I was going to say, because I'm going to say kick then. It's not the beginning of the end, because by 2021, no one's going to remember this. With how someone's going to do something more dumb between now and then, and we're going to be fine.
Yeah, I don't think this particular issue is what has them in a nosedive. Like, the bigger issue was letting go of Alexi B when they did.
Right.
They had plenty of up and coming talent on that team that they should have stuck it out with and let it keep going and watch it grow together. I don't think they rebound from this for a long time. Not from this issue, just Ents in general. I don't see them all of a sudden acquiring 2 or 3 players that's going to turn this roster around, and they'll be competing at a high level in a major again, like they did, in the last one, making the grand finals or whatever they did. And so, yeah, I think this is just another notch on the belt for them, because we all knew letting Alexi B go was a bad move.
I mean, from day one,
time.
though, like when they did that, everyone, like, that was like a unanimous thought across the scene. Like, what are you doing?
You're letting go of a young in-game leader.
Yeah.
That is uber talented, right? And showing that now with the resurgence of OG, and they've been playing better and getting better results. But yeah, that was really the downfall of this roster, because then you lost your leader. There was no way to find an obvious replacement for him. Other people then started to underperform, and from what it sounds like, Alu put the blame on them, for underperforming after Alexi B's departure. And now here we are. Alu is the last man standing, and Alu is not good enough to be.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Is if it is true that Alu is kind of a dick, and other pros know it, his name is known because he's been in the scene for a long time. But I don't think he's once what he was, where it's like he has the weight to throw around to bring in big name talent to come play with him. Like, he is going to have to constantly kind of turn and burn lower tier of EU talent, right, to play with him, because you're not going to get guys like even say like Guardian or Olaf, right, guys who might be older and off teams consistently. I don't think Alu has that type of
pull.
Yeah, he just doesn't have that in him to
look.
say,
Bot
come
Alu
play with
is
me.
not a compliment. Okay, like that
No.
term was not made because it was a compliment to the way he played, right? It's not saying he's bad because there's the God Alu side of it too, right? Because he does make some godlike plays, but he also had some major slip ups on his time with NIP that eventually led to his departure. And so he's a good player. He's not an amazing player, and you needed that young, raw, fragging talent around him, I think, to make this work. It's hard to find that. Like they obviously have done it before. I just don't know if you can replicate that so soon after wiping out 4 squad mates, you know? So look, like you said, it's never over, but I don't think 2021 is a comeback year for ends.
Yeah, especially because we don't even know what it's going to look like from a scene standpoint, you know? If they're not able to participate in more NA spread out teamed events, right? If these events are still so heavily concentrated with the way they are now, the way they were this year, they're going to be struggling just as much as any other lower ranked team on the EU
And
side.
they would have a hard time even if it was EU and NA combined, right? Because in NA, you're only really going to have Liquid, Furia, and EG competing in those
so
bigger
when I
events,
say
and those are all teams that they can.
ENCE is a team that you would see invited to like DreamHack Dallas. You know, like those type of tournaments that.
Okay, I get what you mean.
You know, like when you saw like Heroic or Sprout, right?
Yeah.
Like when we like, oh hell yeah, let's go watch some.
They can fill in some of these tournaments that don't necessarily
Yes.
garner like the top 5 teams in the world.
Correct.
Right? Maybe one of the top 5 is in it or something, and then everybody else kind of fills in.
Yeah.
But those tournaments also feel like they're slowly going by the wayside, right? Like most of the events that we're seeing now are like with the good teams in it are really just like top tier events. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
But it's like those small.
They're going by the way. I mean, they're not. I think they're more so by the wayside of like they're not even like gaining attention on Twitch or anything like that. They're still there because like you can go to DreamHack and stuff, and you could see DreamHack always has like some random like DreamHack Finland open, right? They always got something going on where they have these teams play, and you're like, what? Who is watching this? And you look at the teams, and it's like, you know, teams that you might have heard of once before. But that's, I think, where their bread and butter is going to be. Now, if they're not there, I don't know how they rebuild and also try to compete at the top level again, especially if Alu is kind of being, you know, the scarlet letter of CS, where he's just an asshat.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to change. If he recognizes that there's an issue, I mean, he's the only one that can fix it, right? So, you live and you learn, but it's also running late in his career, so we'll see. And the mental health stuff, I don't even want to touch on that either because I don't know what they're referring to. So, maybe there's just more to it than we know, and I don't think that'll come out. I don't think it needs to come out personally. I mean, this is the team made the wrong decisions, right? Like Alu is not the one writing the checks. There are other people higher up. Alu can make recommendations, but at the end of the day, like Nadu and these guys, the ones that are running this organization, they're the ones that have the final say, and letting Alexi B go and all that should fall on their shoulders, not Alu's.
And if all else fails, he can just play Valorant.
That is true.
Just get on.
Probably will.
Get on that gravy train.
And just you might as well, Ents, if I were you, take your CSGO roster, Alu, and that's it. Go ahead and make the switch now. Valorant, plug in 4 players, probably be pretty good. It's going to be hard to come back in CS.
Get a head start there. Last clutcher kick here. This could have been Yikes of the Week, but we're not doing a show for the next couple of weeks, and we just have to bring it up.
If we're not on the same page for this one, I'll be slightly disappointed.
So Twitch made an announcement today that they are now officially banning words. And not the words you would think. Not the gamer words. They are now banning simp, incel, and virgin. You can now be banned on Twitch for using simp, incel, and virgin.
Which, make sure you follow us on Twitch and YouTube. We're live right now.
Yep. So, first off, this one hurts for me personally. Just last night, my wife was telling me I need to stop calling people virgin. Is my go-to insult to anyone. It just rolls off the tongue. It has a punch to it, like you virgin, like that V. It's like I hit him in the mouth with it. It's awesome. It's an awesome insult, and it's not even. I think what also makes it funny is like it's not even an insult. Like who cares if you're a virgin, right? But it's funny. It is funny. Simp. Also, this is why Twitch is banning these words. Because every single one of Twitch admins is a simp, an incel, and a fucking virgin. That's why they're banning these words.
They're taking it out on their own side. No, yeah, this is stupid. These are not the words we need to be talking about. If you're going to ban words, I could give you a list of other words that need to make sure they never come out of somebody's mouth on the platform.
Like
Calling
all of
a simp has become a freaking common like meme word to use, right? You use it in so many different situations, and so
all of Pokemon's admins got offended that people kept calling them simps, and they said, "You know what? We're just gonna ban the word." It's I don't understand what direction this is going in.
A kick for me, Tim. Like this is look, there's just other things I feel like Twitch needs to be worrying about. And this is like they find these one-offs to go after.
Let me say this, and I could say this. So even though we stream on both YouTube and Twitch, Twitch has done nothing to get us our sub button working. Nothing. There's no even route we can go for help to get it working. So I'm going to say this. I wish people didn't just immediately go to Twitch the way they do. Because at this point, the train's not stopping. I don't think Twitch is going to go away anytime soon for what they do, right? Like they've made so many dumb mistakes down the road, and everyone's just like, huh? Like this is the dumbest thing you could possibly do, and yet they're still just dominating every other streaming service, right? You have streamers on YouTube that are still doing successful, but not like Twitch, right, as a whole. But my God, in their board meeting, and I just feel bad for the people who probably work for Twitch, but also realize from the outside looking in. Like, imagine you go into your meeting, Anuj, and your boss is like, all right, boys, we're going to talk some heavy shit today and needs to change the company's direction. And you're thinking, all right, we're going to get all those scam accounts. All those scam accounts taking money from kids? Nope, no, not that. Oh, like the softcore porn, the titty streamers. We're going to work on them. Going to try to filter them out? No. The animal abusers? Nope. The people who say the N-word? Nope. We're going to get rid of the people who say simp and virgin. And you're like, oh.
But in the Twitch meeting, they were all like, this is the best idea ever.
Yeah, this is amazing.
We need to roll this out immediately.
Revolutionary.
Let's see how much they actually enforce this. Like they're saying that you're talking about a person's sexual orientation. I say it's just people using. I don't really think that when somebody says that, like they're trying to target their sexual. They're just making fun of it. Unfortunately, that's become the online. Like that's just the way it kind of works online. Like people make fun of one another. It's become like a meme, who can meme each other harder type thing. Like I get it that sometimes it can go too far at times. I also get that.
But that's why I think we need to keep it in rein. Let me call someone a virgin. If you take virgin away, I have to be creative now.
Like you got to think outside the box.
I got to think outside the box, virgin, and who knows?
The meaning has gone like 100 times further. It might hurt them more.
Exactly.
Now it's like, damn, he used a banned word on me.
Like now, I just like virgin was a catch-all. Like, hey, you're a virgin. It means you're like a loser, an idiot, all of the above. Now I have to like explain myself.
You've never had sex with anyone. That's what I'm gonna start saying.
Yeah. What if you just call them the definition of it, not the actual word? Are we okay there? Is it just the word that we're
white knight women 24/7?
It's like, I don't know, Twitch. I don't know. I guess you give me free games sometimes on your Twitch deal thing, so I guess I'm okay with it. But I just don't understand what they're doing there. All right, so there's Clutch or Kick. Good times. Let's get into some e-news. In CSGO, you do have the Intel Masters season. I can do Roman numerals. Don't tell me 15.
Nice. Good job. I'm not looking at it. I'm going to trust that you're right.
XV 15, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So there it is, quietly happening, a $500,000 tournament that not a whole lot of people seem to care about for whatever reason. But we did have the #1 team in the world make a reappearance here. And of course, I'm talking about Big, as they win their groups 2-0, defeating a strawless 2-0, 2-0, and Vitality. They have Complexity in the group. They didn't even have to play Complexity to be 2-0. They literally took down the #1 and #2 teams in the world. Unbelievable.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's insane.
Unbelievable.
How many streams did they have on?
Yeah, for real. Like, that's how you know they're cheating. I want all of those voice comms reviewed tonight.
Immediately.
And you have, let's see here. Group B is currently still going on. Well, actually, for the decider match in Group A, you have Astralis Vitality. What a decider match. Like
I know, right?
That should be the finals. And we have that being a Group A decider match.
Yeah.
Group B, currently you have Liquid and Na'Vi 1-0. But Furia, Heroic are playing tomorrow, I believe. And Na'Vi and Liquid are also playing Manana 17th. So we'll see what happens out of Group B. And maybe we'll talk about this when we come back. But due to the timing, there's always one straggling event that like goes right up to Christmas. And you're like, why? But here we are. This is it.
Does it surprise you when they do a tournament on Thanksgiving that they have one leading up to Christmas, Tim?
I
like
mean,
on Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving, you at least it's like chalk it up to, well, these are Europeans, so they don't care about our Thanksgiving. Even though it is in America when they do it, so that doesn't make any sense.
It was down the street from our house.
Like, whatever.
Like Texas, of all the places.
Yeah.
You know?
So I don't get that. But Christmas? Everyone celebrates Christmas. Why are we doing a tournament leading up 5 days before Christmas? Seems a little weird, but oh well. So we'll talk about that when we come back. Astralis, Anuj. I'm going to bring this up again because we're not talking again for 2 weeks. Has done their merch drop 2, as they call it. Have you seen it?
I heard they collaborated with Nate Shot, right?
I mean, it is like they went to the same supplier for 100 Thieves and literally just told them, hey, just don't write 100 Thieves on it.
Just put the Astralis star on there.
Just put the star and you send us a couple boxes and we'll slide you 100. We'll send you a Benjamin. You give us some hoodies. I mean, the red and black tie-dye. Now, first of all, if you follow us on Twitter at The Centering, you would know the first official TCR jersey when I was 15 years old at MLG Dallas was a red and black tie-dye shirt that I did myself in my kitchen for $8. So they're really copying us. They're copying TCR. But that being said, how awkward was it? And I don't know if like Astralis CEO or their merch guys follow 100 Thieves. Who knows? They might not even know who 100 Thieves is. I would have to imagine they do, but maybe not. Maybe I don't think Astralis ever played 100 Thieves in CS. I don't know if 100 Thieves ever really qualified for anything that high up, but maybe. But what did you think ran through their merch guys' head when 100 Thieves dropped theirs like 2 weeks ago? And then they were like, shit.
Like, we better start working on this release video right now, guys.
Like, guys, it's the same thing. It's the same hoodie.
Like, maybe we'll only sell to Europeans.
The bright side, though, is if you're a 100 Thieves fan in Europe, these probably will save you shipping. Like, these will they're the same thing. Get a permanent marker, write 100 Thieves on it, and you got yourself a 100 Thieves hoodie. And vice versa. If you're in America and you're a Astralis fan, just get the 100 Thieves hoodie, write Astralis on it. It's the same thing.
It really is. You know what, though? It's a hot look, man. It looks good.
It does look good, but it's also tie-dye, and tie-dye always looks good. Like, it's hard to screw up tie-dye. But you know what the best tie-dye? The best tie-dye.
Tie-dye love. Like, I know it. Like, I'm surprised you don't have one of those yet. Like, have you put in the
I'm saving my tie-dye hoodie virginity. Ooh, can't say that word. Sorry. I'm saving my tie-dye hoodie haven't had sex yet for the alt hoodie. Because whenever they release it, I gotta text Nate. Whenever they release that black and yellow hoodie, I will be getting that. That's what I'm saving my money for.
That is a clean looking hoodie.
With the tie-dye sweatpants. And I will wear them both at the same time.
I think it's also the color scheme for them. Like, they found a color scheme that you don't see too often used, and that's what makes it look better. Because red and black is so common. We're red and black, right? Like, red and black's a good look, but it's super common. So, yeah, the alt ones that are coming out, if you haven't seen them, definitely go check them out.
Yeah,
they look
definitely clean. So that's what I'm going to save for. But yes, I do love my tie-dye. I could probably go a whole week wearing tie-dye.
So you know what? I don't own one piece of tie-dye. I really don't. And not like, I've never thought about it until we started talking about it a lot today. But I don't have one piece of tie-dye.
You should do that and just wear it around your wife and record it just to see what she says. Because she'd probably look at you weird.
She probably would. She's known me for, 12 years now, and I've never never owned a tie-dye outfit. Shirt, pants, whatever.
I was definitely a tie-dye kid growing up. Lots of tie-dye. Tie-dye, ripped jeans, and moccasins. That was me in high school. So, I was that guy. Put two and two together, I suppose. In Valorant, Cloud9 is hosting their invitational this weekend. Like, literally announced today, like 7 hours ago, that they're hosting a tournament this weekend. From the announcement, it sounds like it might be a LAN because it's the Red Bull something LAN in Canada. I don't know if it is going to be LAN because this tournament is so fresh. It's not even on any of the websites that it's happening yet. Like, there is no information other than it's happening this weekend.
Yeah, I'd be really curious to see what, like, it's probably just local would be my guess.
I would have to imagine it's just them hosting the event.
Yeah.
Because
like
how else
will show up and make an appearance, and then everybody else will be like local.
Yeah, they'll just have Tens in his monkey outfit doing aim lab for 12 hours straight at the event. Just dance for me, Tens. Do aim lab. And also the tournament this weekend, nights before Christmas, the Pittsburgh Knights are hosting an event. Now this one we do have more information. Some teams worth watching. So obviously Pittsburgh Knights will be there. NRG and Box. Space Monkeys will also be there, and Ninja's team Time In will be there.
And Moon Raccoons are there as well.
Did I not say that? Moon Raccoons will also be there. So this will be their first appearance since that I know of since First Strike. So hopefully everyone's trying to cap off the year on a high, especially those unsigned orgs, aka Moon Raccoons. We'll see. Ninja in another tournament.
I hope Ninja's team does well because I really want this Ninja guy to like make it. You know,
he just deserves it.
She just deserves it.
What's his MO?
What do you mean?
Is this just him? Is this the?
Is this like his new thing? I think it's like just these are all temporary, right?
Like, is this is this the equivalent though, where like technically in NASCAR, you could buy a team as an owner and race if you really wanted to. Like, nothing is stopping you in NASCAR from doing that. It's the team owners deciding the racer, and you could technically do that as a team owner and get last place every time. But they call them gentleman drivers, Anuj. If you didn't know that, they do it in F1. Well, you don't do it anymore because it's too expensive to do that. But they do that. Paul Newman used
Ninja
to do
is
that.
good enough to like compete though with people, right? Like he plays at a radiant level.
Yeah.
He is like not an average streamer gamer, right? Like as much shit as we'll give him from time to time.
I'm just saying, if an org wanted to come up and be like, you know what, you guys are actually pretty good, is at that point he's stepping down?
Probably. Like, I mean, he's a streamer now,
right?
Like, he makes too much money. I shouldn't say he's a streamer, so that would prevent him from. He's an unusual.
Why don't we get him on the show?
I'll reach out to his reps.
You book him. You got 2 weeks off of work coming up. Why don't you book him for us? And
Let me just text that number that he has on his profile.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. He says
that
text
work?
me, right? That works.
I go directly to him.
Go right to him right now. And T1 follows in the Cloud9 footsteps as they release their Korean roster. Actually,
and we think this is all anticipation for
the what's it called?
Whatever it's called.
Whatever they have coming up next year.
First Strike 2.
Yeah. Though I will say this is kind of a, if you want to say, a testament to their NA roster. Like T1 is a Korean org. Like that. Like they are more known in Korea than they are in the States. So for them to drop their Korean team just from a popularity contest, kind of a big deal.
Fortunately for them, they have probably the most popular group of players, signed to their NA org.
Yeah.
So
in COD Warzone released on all platforms with a new map using the same engine they used the original Warzone on last year. So you get to keep your skins and guns, plus new stuff.
I like that. You don't feel as bad for putting in some of the money to get.
Yeah, I mean, for the amount of money people are putting in, you can't do them.
No, I think it's a cool way of doing it.
Yeah.
New map. I actually downloaded it, so you can just download the Warzone, which is nice now. You don't have to have all 250 gigs allocated.
Is this including Cold War stuff now or no?
Yeah, this is the Cold War.
This is the new.
So if for those people, I've seen some confusion online. If you are trying to download it, you will see that the old Call of Duty on your Blizzard app has changed into like Call of Duty Warzone. You can like do a drop down and select Warzone on there. You don't do it on the Cold War one. You have to go to the old one and hit manage or something. And
you were downloading like the test servers for WoW or something like that.
No, it's above that under the options.
So it's even more different. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit more different.
I will figure it out.
Just know it's there, and you can download just Warzone on PC 85 gigs versus the 250 that you would need for the whole game.
Okay, I might download that and play it once. In other news here, in CDL news, you have Woskin states he is going to go through the Challenger League to compete this year. Of course, he's former London Royal Ravens, friend of the show, been on the show, and still teamless and everything here, going through the Challengers League. Good.
Pretty freaking ridiculous though that he has to go through Challengers. He should have had a spot on any one of those rosters, and I really don't understand that logic because he performed so well last year, and for him to not find I
think his name was kind of, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think his name was kind of ran through the mud a little bit by former teammates, and he's even commented on that on Twitter, saying that it was more so people talking behind the scenes that hurt his chances, and which is a shame. I mean, that's a dick move, but what can you do? Yeah. So hopefully though he comes out on top there. And also the old map Raid was introduced back into the game, and I think though I've heard people saying that there's hopefully something wrong with the map because it's playing at 30 FPS.
And people are still saying it's the best map in the game.
Oh man. All right.
I have no problem with them re-releasing old maps though. I think that's the way to do it.
I think it's funny because people do give shit for that, saying like, "Oh, you're releasing all these old maps, blah blah blah." No. If it's a classic map, if it's a good map, it should be carried on throughout every generation of that game. Like
Dust 2.
There should never be a Counter-Strike without Dust 2. Much like there should never be a Halo without Midship or Blood Gulch or any other map in Halo, right? Like they are really known for carrying over maps. Like almost all of them are carried over. There should never be a good map left behind. Like no good map left behind. That's our saying on this show.
A good map is a good map. I mean, that's and then people will bitch that they have shitty maps in the new game.
Right. Yeah. Oh, but you just gotta do the old maps. Those old maps, man. That's all you can do. Well, yes. Okay, so stop asking him to reinvent. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just give us the good map. And in other news here, we have Battle Royale, PUBG Mobile tops the charts for top grossing mobile game of 2020, making $2.6 billion.
That's what the B. It's insane. For that game.
I don't know who's playing it.
Not India.
just
India got banned and they still made $2.6 billion, and India was their biggest market. Imagine what they would have made with them in the mix. That's really insane.
I guess they're getting the last laugh at all of us saying PUBG's a dead game and it sucks. I guess they're getting the last laugh. I don't know what they're doing with that money either. I know they're
PUBG outside of PUBG Mobile feels like a dead game.
Yeah, but I guess still though. I played PUBG Mobile. It's PUBG. I don't get it. But then again, I don't play any games on my phone. In other news, Age of Empires is releasing another expansion, adding new civilizations. Anuj.
That's pretty cool. Like I was excited to see that. Age of Empires 2 was my favorite game out of all the Age of Empires. This is for Age of Empires 2, so another expansion out there. And like I throw this stuff in e-news because I want to keep promoting RTS. And if any of our listeners are ever down to play, well, Tim and I, one of us will always be willing to probably hop in if we have the time to jump into an RTS. But cool to see that they're Age of Empires is really pumping out a lot of content, getting ready for their new game release, which I believe is slated for next year now. But good to see nonetheless. So
the MLS, Major League Soccer, is continuing their EMLS league going into 2021. They'll be adding new teams, Miami, of course, being a new team in the league. Why wouldn't you? And signed JBL as their audio sponsor. Look, I think it's just kind of cool that they're continuing on the esports grind. I don't know how successful or popular it is on their side. You'd probably have to ask a FIFA player. But seeing a real sports league keep up with esports, I think, is always a win.
FIFA to me is the best sports game out of all of them.
And that's not saying much, though.
I like FIFA. They haven't reinvented the wheel in a long time. But
yeah, the last FIFA I played was like, okay, well, it's fine. It's
the same as the others.
Yeah. Ints, the Brazilian org, has acquired a new sponsor from Twitter.
That's a big one. Now, they have a lot of big sponsors, though. I mean, they also compete in several large scenes. They're in Rainbow Six, Counter-Strike.
But it's still, Twitter and Ints. Like, that is a huge sponsor. I would think that is a huge sponsor.
Feels like a huge sponsor.
Yeah. So good for them.
Especially if Twitter can do something in the algorithm where Int stuff pops up if you're an esports fan. Like, hey, great signing by them, though.
And in sad news, the United States falls out of the top 10 for average internet speed among gamers for the first time ever. Singapore is number 1 and Romania at 3.
Pretty cool list. Like going down, there's obviously some huge countries on here, and then some like, Andorra being a top 10. The US was at 165.88. Random. I just
Google Fiber needs to just move to a place with Google Fiber.
Yeah,
that's really what we need. We just need to look. It's been a long time. It's funny because growing up, I remember always yelling at like Canadians, or maybe they're slower than us. I don't know. Where's Canada on the list? Do you have the list in front of you?
I do. Canada is not ahead of us. I don't know where they're at on the list now.
Okay, so it's still their fault. So I remember when I was a semi-pro in Vegas 1 and 2, if you didn't know that, there was a guy called Phobia. And he was younger, I think. But he was a pro, and he was Canadian. We would scrim against his team, and he always demanded he be the host. And it was like, no.
That's not how this works.
Like, and he would, and he straight up, he would not, and he was a good pro. Like, he wasn't like a spare pro. He was a top pro, and we would scrim against his team, but he would have to be host if you wanted to play against them. And it's like, well, bro, no shit.
You're the only one that lives.
Yeah, like, no shit, you're dominating online. You got your stupid Canadian connection here. Like, what am I supposed to do against it in Texas? Like, I understand why he doesn't want to not be host, but I'm like, maybe then don't scrim against a Texas team. Maybe. Like, just thinking about it, maybe not the best idea. But that's all. Every time I think of internet speed, I just remember being young, yelling at every other country for having slow internet. And now that I'm adult, I'm like, oh, maybe it was me.
I'll never complain of internet speed, Tim. We used to have to tell everyone to hang up the phones to get on. So this is we're in a good spot.
Good times. Good times. All right. Speaking of good times, this was a good time. 2020 was not. But you, the listener, made it as good of time as it possibly could for us. So again, very much appreciate it. Thank you for listening to all the episodes that you did. Even if you skipped around some, love you all the same. We will be back either Sunday or Monday night. So keep an eye on Twitter at The Center Ring. We will be hosting the 2nd annual TCR Esports Awards Show, the Timmies. You do not want to miss it. We will be live. Join the chat. Give your nominations. State your case on why they should win the award. Or if you have award ideas and nominees behind that, let us know. That will also be good. But until then, we will see you all in 2021 on a regular basis again. So in the meantime, Twitter at The Center Ring. Hit us up in Discord. We'll be playing WoW. We'll be playing Valorant. We'll be doing some Counter-Strike. You let us know. Got to warm up for League of Legends here. Eventually, we'll do that challenge with Kevin's podcast and everything there. But that's all. So I'm Tim for Arnuge. We'll see you in 2021. Love you. Bye.